guys, welcome back to the Clip Point. We have a pretty exciting knife today. One of Josh's knives.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I bet you are. I have not seen it yet. As in typical Josh fashion, he has already been messing with this knife and got himself all jazzed up for today.
You know, I just got to check the quality, make sure I don't got to send it back.
Yeah, right. Yep, no doubt. I'm the same way, really. But I can keep my knives from him, but he struggles to keep his knives from me, just because he wants to share in the joy. He's a wonderful guy like that. But I haven't seen it yet, which is pretty exciting. I don't even know what it looks like.
Well, it's another case. No, it's really not. It's a Heretic.
You got me there. I was like, what are you doing? Wrong video. You had me there. So, yeah, pretty exciting on the Heretic knife. And what, am I supposed to open that up?
Yeah, I'm going to let you open it. It's
because I don't know what to expect. So
it's pretty snazzy. I'm not going to lie. It took me a minute to find this knife. It's Heretic.
Yes.
And whether it's an older Heretic or a newer Heretic,
get on it. If you live that Grail life, we live that Grail life. We want to jump on that knife. If you want that knife, you better jump on it.
I'd like to live that Grail life. I can only live that Grail life sometimes.
Well, we all have limitations. Man's got to know his limitations.
Man's got to know his limitations.
But this is a cool knife, and I'm glad I picked it up. It's pretty snazzy, and it's brand new. So
you get your little card.
Yeah.
And then caution, sharp edge.
Yeah. Don't cut yourself. So this came from eKnives, and guys, I can't speak highly enough about eKnives. They got it to me so fast, and they sent it to me with a pack of candy, a little first aid kit, and a handwritten note thanking me for my service. Class act. Guys, definitely check out eKnives.
Wow, dude.
Pretty snazzy. So this knife is the cousin of the Manticore X that we filmed just the other day.
I mean, just, if you're about that black Jade 10 life, Jade G10. Jade 10?
Yeah,
How about Jade 10? There you go. This is Jade 10. New word. So if you're about that Jade 10 life, this is it. They go really well together.
Yeah.
So
different, but so similar.
Wow. And what is it auto?
It's auto.
Oh, snap. I was like, how do you...
You tried to flip it open.
This ain't working. Man, I need to get in the gym. Woo. Oh, yeah.
Slight Tonto there.
Elmax, just like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice Tonto.
Pop open that Manticore X, because the blades, they're obviously different blade shapes, but even just the design, the colors and everything, they just did it so well. These knives go hand in hand. I mean... Yeah,
the false edge, right, with the clip point. It's a nice, dramatic false edge, which doesn't have to be the case for a clip point, but they nailed it. And then you've got the nice false edge here on the Tonto, creating kind of that drop Tonto, right, for a more usable, functional blade. And it's... it
reminds me of the Stitch a little bit, actually, which I'll link that video above.
Way lighter.
Way lighter. Not as heavy in the pocket. The Stitch was very heavy in the pocket. And actually, the action is a lot smoother, in my opinion, than the Stitch. And I think it's because it's, again, way lighter. The blade is not as heavy. But beautiful steel, razor sharp, obviously.
It's got the grippy, textured inlays.
It's super grippy.
Yeah.
Reminds me of almost of like a new Emerson. How grippy a new Emerson is on that G10. Like, it's so simple, but so grippy.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost sandpaper.
It'd be interesting when we talk to... We'll do Emerson reviews. We have several, so we'll talk about those when we get to them. But back to this guy, yeah, man, that is... there's a lot going on here. I mean, look at I love the ball bearing pocket clip. Look, every manufacturer who makes a nice knife, a Grail knife, this is the way to go. Is that ball allows it to go in your tactical pants and your dress pants alike. And that's an important
And it's fast.
Deal. It is fast because it pulls out, but it holds, and you're not scared it's going to fall out either. But, man, that Jade G10 is sweet. And, what's interesting is G10 is so strong, and it's a big, thick slab.
Yeah, it really is.
You don't have any liners. No. I love that. It doesn't need it. Like, you can get a little over the top with kind of the cold steel mindset where it has to be overbuilt. This is so this is a seriously meaty knife. It does not need those
And
liners.
it's so comfortable in the hand.
It is so comfortable, and I really like the fact that it doesn't have liners to add to the weight. It definitely is very, very lightweight. Probably one of the lightest weight knives for that kind of chunk. And actually, we've got the Kiku here. Sorry, I'm just going to do it. Very similar, and you can see why you bought it.
Yeah, well,
Right? Very
habit.
similar. Yeah, very similar. Obviously, this is Taiwan, high production numbers, quarter of the price, or
right.
half.
It's
About
about
half.
a little less than half.
A little less than half, right? Okay. Limited run, made in America. I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot to not love about
Right.
this.
This is about a $200 knife. This is about a $400 to $450 knife.
So there you go. Pick your poison, but you know what? Limited production, made in America.
I know we're not talking about
It's
it,
actually good value.
but you just closed it, and I mean, we'll get into the
Yeah,
Kiku.
don't ruin that next video.
We'll get into the Kiku.
But anyway, yeah, love it. Really great size. And you know what? Some people, when they get the stitch, they might not like its lack of EDC capability because it is a chunk, right?
Right.
Somewhere that chunk is a badge of honor, and that's cool. I get that. I own Medfords. I dabble in that world.
It's really awesome if you need to throw your pocket knife through a windshield. Listen, I love this stitch. The stitch is a great knife, but this has got more.
No, and it's not a Christmas. It's a different knife, but this right here. How about this?
But on our scale, I feel like this fits better on our scale and ranks better.
I agree. Here's what I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I do is I like to compare the Heretic to the Microtech sometimes, even though they're kind of related companies, because you basically have kind of like what the Heretic didn't do, the Microtech did, and what the Microtech didn't do, the Heretic did.
Right.
And there's some contrast there. Like, for instance, there isn't I don't have it out here with me, but there isn't a sort of single action Microtech that you can reasonably get into. The Halo series is so out there. But you know what you can do? You can get a Heretic Hydra.
Yeah.
Right? Single action. It's like a bolt action rifle. Clink, right? And you get that satisfying thing. So what's interesting is they contrast each other really, really well. Do. And you're going to get the same production quality as you would from a Microtech from Heretic, which is something you have a lot of confidence in.
But if you're really hunting that Grail knife, I mean, of course Microtech has the Marfione Customs. But if you're really hunting for like a Grail knife type of vibe, I think Heretic's where it's at over Microtech. Only because it's harder to find a Heretic than
it's going to have that edge, right? It's going to have that edge over Microtech.
I can get online right now and find, not a bunch, but I can find LUDTs. I can find, Ultratechs and Combat Troodons. Probably not a stitch, but for the most part, you can find, those knives. You're going to be hard pressed to find a whole lot of Heretics. You might find a few, but I mean, slim pickings.
Yeah. So there you go.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Ergos. Okay. Well, I've not spent any time with it, but I got to tell you, the Ergos are spot on. There is no doubt about it that this has jimping everywhere jimping should be, and then jimping where it normally isn't, which is right down here in the finger grooves. So yeah, its Ergos are spot on. They're phenomenal. I mean, I'm having a hard time. You might not. I don't know. Some people might not like the skateboard tape on a Grail, kind of that heavy, sort of grippy texture. But I think that this is that Grail that they designed to use
that knife. Yeah.
Right. So I would say that. Yeah, gosh, it's going to be hard to not give this a perfect score of 10 on that, because the Ergos are just spot on. And what I can do is I'll take one knife out and I'll put this in its place and kind of do the draw. I mean, guys, just the draw from the pocket, right? And then you put your thumb goes naturally to the button, and I like that. I own a lot of automatic, well, not a lot, but quite a handful, quite a few automatic knives. and you don't always, the ergos aren't always where your thumb is kind of there on draw. Sometimes if you don't carry it every day, you're automatic, you're kind of looking like, where's the button?
Yeah, which isn't
Is
great.
that the lock switch?
Which plays into the tactical aspect of it, I think, as well.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time giving it anything but a 10. I mean, those ergos are about perfect. I can't. You're always going to have a hot spot on a pocket clip. You know what? That's going to be a 9, I guess, because you know what? The pocket clip profile is pretty far up there. And I guess that would create a little bit of a hot spot since it is a user. So yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, but it's
still pretty high,
nearly perfect.
Yeah. So for me,
I don't know if there's anything they can do about the pocket clip.
No, I mean, here's
other
the thing.
than like what Lion Steel does, but that creates other inconveniences.
All you could do is remove the pocket clip, and listen, if that's you and you don't like a pocket clip, it's removable. The bolt's right there.
That's a great point. Actually, turn it over. Let's look at the button. The button is completely. It's not going to fire in your pocket.
No,
that's a nice thing.
It's pretty much flush.
My LUDT has bitten me in the past, and I don't carry it in my back pocket because it will fire from a back pocket when you sit down.
So that's not good.
That's why you keep a little first aid kit on you at all times.
Yeah, thanks to E-Knives, I have one. So you could remove the pocket clip if that's not for you. Lanyard, just throw it in your pocket. No big deal. For me, and of course I've handled this knife, it is very comfortable. It feels like it just needs like a half or quarter inch more handle. So that, when he was telling the grade, I'm already thinking 9 because I've handled it.
That's a good point. I felt the same way with it, but I didn't think about it. Yeah.
Our past knife reviews, which we didn't do the grading system on our older knife reviews, but the ProTech Strider that we've done a review on, that would be a perfect 10 for me. I'll link that video above because it's got a beautiful finger choil. It's not overly complicated, but the ergos are just there. It's smooth. This is very, very good. Honestly, we're splitting hairs here.
But once you get that lanyard on there, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, because
that lanyard will close the gap a little bit on how you feel, because it's going to lay over and make contact. Even though it may not be 100% tactile once you have your hand closed, you'll get the confidence that you need. Lanyards, I don't know. I'm just a big advocate of them. This is one knife from One Knife Project, and the lanyard, I put a 10 millimeter bullet casing on the end, and the draw and the confidence you have when you have that pinky lanyard is just
for sure. Which this knife will 100% get a lanyard, which most of my knives do. Very seldomly do they not, but. US made, Elmax, comfortable. It is expensive. It is a grail knife, but this is 100% a knife that'll last a lifetime. You get what you pay for. And I'm pretty sure Heretic has a lifetime warranty on all their knives. So there's that.
Cool.
Tactical.
All right. So tactical. Yeah, it's technically not a tactical blade.
Well, the cutting edge.
Yeah, exactly. Look, here it is. 3 inches, right?
That's true.
It's a 3-inch knife. You really need to be 3.5 or over in order to technically be a tactical blade. Now, with its ergos, it is tactical capable.
Yeah.
You can certainly pierce and thrash or slash and do everything
knife.
You need to do. It is tactical. There is no doubt about that. I'm going to give it probably an 8 out of 10 for tactical.
That's fair.
And yeah, you're not going to slip up on it because the ergos are so good. So yeah, it definitely is tactical capable, and it has enough snap that it's like the shotgun being racked, the old saying about that. And so it's going to give you that tactical feel, I think, and you're not going to lose grip on it. So it does have that. So, but this is the next category we'll discuss is really what I believe this knife is made for.
Yeah, tactical. I mean, I'm not one. If you're going to give me a handful of knives, there's a certain kind of knife I'm always going to pick every time for tactical. This knife would not be it. This is 100% a knife that I carry for multi-purpose use, not for self-defense. But you never know. Times happen, bad situations, and this may be the only knife you have. And for tactical use, I'd probably say a 7, which isn't bad. And that's only because it's going to be a slow draw because, again, you got to find that button. The button is in a place where it's very convenient. It's right at your thumb, but everybody's hand's different. and because it's recessed, it's not as easy to find. So in the dark, so you
Yeah,
know,
it's more of a don't go off in your pocket
right,
type button style, because there are other buttons out there that are clearly tactical in the mindset. Unless it's just a coincidence how
right.
people sometimes set their
Well,
buttons, but this button is recessed and that's safe.
right, and you think about the LUDT and how that knife was designed. It is an older design, but it was designed for underwater use. It was designed for SEAL teams. That button was meant to be hit and found quickly. This button, however, is not, and that's the only reason why it gets a little bit lower score for me. But it is still a very tactical, well-made knife. It still could be used for self-defense. However, there are much better and much cheaper options on the market for self-defense.
Yeah, yeah, that takes us to EDC, and that's what this knife is going to be for. You want to grail, you want to EDC some grail action, you're going to have a hard time
Right.
beating this. It's lightweight. It is ergonomic. It is not the slimmest profile, but most high-end knives are not super slim. And here's the deal. You give up, in order to get lightweight with kind of the G10 and not have liners, it really has to be a little thicker to give you some substantial, right? But for EDC, when it's thicker, it actually is more comfortable with fewer hot spots because the surface area across your skin is greater. So when you think about this from an EDC standpoint, this is excellent for EDC tasks for everyday carry.
Slicing.
It's a 3-inch blade. It's just right. It's lightweight. It's slicey dicey. It has a ton of grind behind the edge, which is a really big deal. Elmax is really difficult to sharpen. You have to have some skill set and some patience. And that's not just Elmax, but it's also S30V, S35V, and S90, M390. They're all very difficult. And so you got to be kind of good at that, or you send them back to the factory. We'll probably get into some of that stuff in the future. But from an EDC standpoint, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. It is right up there. It is a very EDC knife. I think it's EDC oriented. What did I rate it on tactical? Do you remember?
You rated it a 8.
Yeah, good. That's about right. Yeah, because it's secondarily would be tactical, because I think everything Heretic does has a tactical feel.
Speaks to the EDC level of it, because here's the thing. When a company is developing an EDC knife, I think their end goal is to create a multi-use knife that covers all the bases from tactical to EDC to everything.
I think so.
And I think this knife really hits it. Other knives in this category, I'd probably put Medford. I'd probably put some ZTs. This very much, again, reminds me of the Stitch as far as the belly of it. I mean, man, it's right up there for a solid EDC.
It'd look really good with some Jade G10 handles with my Rock Island 1911.
Yeah, it would.
Or some of the 1911s that have the two-tone with the black and the silver, and you did like the grips and wow.
Yeah, see, I love that's one.
Now
thing
it's going to make me want to go buy a new 1911.
That's what I love about this this two-tone blade. I mean, we'll get into that in a second. But EDC, I think for me, I mean, honestly, you can't beat it. I'm going to go 10 out of 10. It's just grippy. It's comfortable. It's got a really great profile blade for EDC. It has that subtle tanto. I almost said tanto. That's weird. That's like Lone Ranger. No, Tonto's Lone Ranger too. I don't even know. I'm losing it. But it's got that subtle tanto blade, which adds the piercing. So it's a good slicer. It's a good piercer. It's got that fast draw. It's grippy. It's got a really great pocket clip. It's got a little lanyard hole. Great steel. US made. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Cool factor. It is a cool knife without a doubt. Probably for me, from a cool factor standpoint, I mean, it's a Grail knife. How much cooler can you get?
That's kind of where I'm at. And I feel bad because it seems like, guys, every time you do a ranking on cool, it's always 10. That's not true. We've had some that are less than, especially knives that, need a little love and customizing. But
no doubt about it. I think I'll say this from a cool factor. When you think about sort of the Grail knife kind of cool factor, you know what? This is a pretty simple design.
It really is.
It's a pretty simple knife. I think its cool factor is definitely high, but I'll give it like maybe a 9 out of 10. It's a side opening automatic. I just reserve 10 out of 10. It's not anything to do with this, but very few side opening automatics would be a 10 out of 10 for me. And from a cool factor, it's definitely a 9. Just because it's a grail, it's jade with the black, it's a wonderful design. I'm sitting here not showing anybody this side because I like looking at this side because I like the cutouts and I like the design of it.
I like the logo there and the little.
Yeah, I just want to look at it all the time, right? And
I think what you're saying. It sounds like to me. You tell me what you think, guys. Say it in the chat down below. But he's saying 9, but he's sure talking about it like it's a 10.
Anyway. Go ahead.
For me, for me, it's a 10 out of 10.
If it was mine, it'd be a 10 out of
10. Mainly, the Jade G10 is cool. Honestly, like I'm more of an all black knife guy. Like I like the tactical. But this was new, and this is what had just come out, and I was kind of uncertain about it. Which you might say, well, that's really dumb to be uncertain about a knife that costs a little bit of money. And I'm glad I took a risk because now that I have it in my hands, I really love it. It is different. It's going to turn heads. It's just like what people look for when they buy a sports car or a muscle car or something. You want to turn heads, and this knife definitely does it. I love the duotone blade. I love the action. It's just, guys, it looks like it's out of a sci-fi movie. It does with the duotone blade and everything.
I can see that.
Even the pocket clip looks super futuristic. But I think that's Heretic in general. So 10 out of 10 for me. Which leaves this to maybe one of the highest overalls. Because everything has been pretty high except for tactical.
Yeah, overall, it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
overall,
for sure.
Without a doubt. I think, you can go up and down in a couple of categories, your own opinion on that.
Right.
But, are we fanboys? Yeah. Are we biased? Absolutely biased. We're biased on things that we like, and that's what you're going to get from us. You're going to, we're going to be authentic to what we like and what we enjoy, and we may not always review things that we don't like, but we'll probably end up doing a video specifically. I hate this knife, right? That'd be a great video. If you think so, comment below. We'll certainly put it together, and we'll bring you the knives that we hate. Which I don't know if that's an interesting video or not, but I think it's just something that people don't always discuss on YouTube.
There's some that people love and that they're huge fans of knife brands, and I have a hard time finding even one knife under some brands that I even like.
Well, that's true. There are a couple of huge brands, that I am not a fan of, and that's because of the collectability, the cool side, and we do cool as one of the last below overall. But the reality is, a lot of times we buy a knife based on cool factor first.
Right. Or country of origin.
Yes, you're going to have people all over the spectrum on that. And so I think the most important thing is that you get out there and that you live that knife life.
Yeah.
Check us out on Instagram. We're going to be posting more of these, and we will have the cousins together, right? And we'll be taking some pictures with these guys on Instagram. Hopefully come up with something cool.
Yeah.
Maybe with an AK-47, whatever. So check us out. We also have a cool store that Josh has built
we'll link it below.
As well.
All these will be linked below. Instagram will be linked below. The store will be linked below.
Absolutely.
We have a Facebook page as well. So, check that out if you're on Facebook. This was a fun knife review.
Yeah, I dig it.
9 out of 10 for this bad boy.
Yeah.
So, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Hit us up on Instagram. Chat with us. We're always open.
Yeah.
And stay sharp.
Yeah. Stay sharp. Thanks.
See you guys.